Hello, greetings from England. I saw your me venting video and I thought I'd post a response to that because I was pretty horrified to hear what happened to your sister. Now, normally I like to think of myself as being a fairly open-minded and liberal kind of person, and I don't feel that people should be forcefully prevented from practicing their religion as long as it doesn't do any harm. And by not doing any harm, I mean tangible, direct harm, like flying planes into tower blocks, or saying who can or can't get married or adopt children, or burning witches, that kind of stuff. And I know that there's all the indirect harm that goes along with all of this, from people deluding themselves and their children, or whatever kind of psychological damage that may or may not do. But that's a bit of a minefield, really, because you start interfering with people's personal beliefs at that level, and I just think it's the first couple of steps on a really, really slippery, steep slope to complete totalitarianism. And in my book, fundamentalist mind control is a bad thing. It doesn't really matter who it is that's in the driving seat. So here I am. I like to think of myself as Mr. Tolerant, and then I hear a story like this one about your sister, and it just kind of makes my blood boil. Because I know that it's just pointless trying to argue using logic against faith, but you'd think there'd be some kind of level of consistency in the message, at least. So, on the one hand, they're telling us that this God is love, and it's all about love, and then they come up with shit like this. So this moron is telling your sister that she's being punished now for something that she's done. Well, how come? The message that I have heard from Christians throughout my entire life is that sin is sin, and we're all guilty of it, and we're born with original sin. The only way back to God is through Jesus. That's it. All of the good deeds, all the bad deeds, everything that you might ever do, it's just filth and rags in the sight of God, and salvation is possible through Christ, and acceptance of Christ, and that's it. There's no judgment here in this world. When you die, go to heaven, go to hell. That's it. And so, we've got this tosser that your sister went to for comfort and guidance in a time of personal need, when she just found out that she was ill, and he tells her that her illness and her son's condition are punishment for something that she did. I mean, that has got to be one of the most evil, cruel things I've ever heard in my entire life, and it doesn't reconcile with this message of a loving God. So where does the kid fit in with all of this? Is he just like collateral damage? I mean, how can they actually sell the idea of worshipping an entity that would harm human beings just to make a point? Innocent people. That wouldn't be acceptable for a person. Never mind about some kind of omnipotent and omniscient super being that really, you'd expect to know better. And from what I hear of, from these people about their God, I wouldn't trust it with a fucking pot plant, never mind about the eternal care of my immortal soul, if I actually had one. So, there it is. I was horrified to hear that anybody who went to a pastor for guidance and comfort would be given that message. It's inexcusable. So there you go. There's my rant in response to yours. I don't know. I suppose the only thing that you can do is offer your sister a bit of support, and hopefully that kind of level of damage control. I just hope she doesn't take it too much to heart, and just learns to accept that some people are idiots and that their opinions are worthless. So peace and all the best to you and your family.